peace. Welcome to the channel. I am aTone. This is aTone Tarot. Taurus, you are tuned in for your 10-day forecast for the first 10 days of October. We will be focusing on your money in these first 10 days of October, Taurus. So, without further ado, let's get up into your message. Oh, I will be using the Everyday Witch deck, career and finance oracle, as well as the character oracle deck to clarify the message. So I will be pulling 10 cards, 5 from this one, 5 from that one, and clarifying as needed. So you know how I do it, Taurus. If you could please like, comment, share, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get up into your message, Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the first 10 days of October as it relates to your money in your career, Taurus. What do you need to know? I hope all is well with my bull gang. Let's see what we got for the Taurus. As it relates to their money. And career. For my Taurus. What's the money looking like? What's the hustle, the grind? What do they need to know? All right. There are your first five cards as it relates to your finances, Taurus. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. What's up with my Taurus's money? What do they need to know for the first 10 days of October? My Taurus collective. All right, Taurus, you actually have 11 cards, so I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go with it. And I'm going to actually position this one the way it came out. All right, Taurus, for the first 10 days of October as it relates to your money, let's get into your message. You got the Hermit in reverse, the Sun, the Page of Pentacles in reverse, the Four of Swords, as well as the Queen of Cups. All right. So those are your 5 tarot, traditional tarot cards you received as it relates to your financial message for the first 10 days of October. Then you have Magic in reverse, real passion, independence, many choices, looking, and then unfolding also wanted to come with it. So we're going to get into your message, Taurus. So for your finances, what I'm picking up on is that you are ready to get out and about and share some of the knowledge and exchange knowledge and information with people so that you can move forward in a particular discipline, study, area, industry, as it relates to your money. You're wanting to come out of hibernation and politic and pick people's brains so that you can get information so that you can move forward in an endeavor for the next chapter of your world, Taurus. But the first 10 days of October, with this Hermit being here in reverse, and right behind it we have the Sun, that is where I'm picking up you coming out of hibernation, wanting to interact with individuals, get information, um and revisit some things and learn some things, maybe even over again that you thought you knew, with this Knight of Pentacles being in reverse or coming out in reverse. I will say something about my process, um, is that I bless and position all my cards upright before I upload. So if the card comes out in reverse, that's the message intended for you. Don't shoot the messenger. Take what resonates, leave the rest. If it don't apply, let it fly. All that good stuff. You know what I mean? Let me put them disclaimers out there. Because, as it relates to people's money and their career and their life in general, it can get a little sticky. I understand. But again, I am just the messenger. But I digress. The Four of Swords being here lets me know, as it relates to your money, you got your mind on your money and your money on your mind. Again, you want to collect information. You want to be very sound in what you know as it relates to your money. You want to know where every dollar, dime, cent, penny is, Taurus, right? And you might do it very lackadaisically, with this Four of Swords being here. It may not be the most what's the word I'm looking for? You might have an ease about how you go about reviewing and assessing your finances. You might do it from your bed with snacks, cuddled up, no pencil and pen, just scrolling through all of your apps, very um what's the word, technically savvy, if you will. That might even be a message for some of you Tauruses to um employ some apps to help clean up your financial literacy, right? Or help you with your financial literacy. Use AI technology that is out there to collect information. It might help you grow and birth something, financially speaking, that is profitable and beneficial to you. All right. So Now, with the second set of cards, with magic being in reverse, this is again reiterating you wanting to revisit and review maybe where you might have lost a spark. You might have or might be in a place where you're looking at your life, Taurus, and being like, oh man, I remember when I used to get money. Left and right. Money was just flowing through your hands. You might be reminiscing upon your heyday or when you were in your prime, and you're wanting to revamp and revitalize a passion project, possibly to bring that level of um, spark again and magic, because you may feel like you have lost it a little bit with magic being here in reverse. You have independence, right? And then if I don't know nothing about a Taurus, they're stubborn, they are very independent, they are strong willed, hard working individuals, right? So no doubt about that, about Tauruses. They like to create as many options and choices as they possibly can by way of their financial security in their life and how they set things up in their life. And they are currently, or you guys are currently looking, observing, learning, wanting to get something that will help advance your financial situation in the first 10 days of October, Taurus. And, something is going to unfold beautifully, naturally, right? Don't negate the journey, the lesson, the information that you're going to collect and get is going to be just as worth its weight in gold as the gold itself. So that's the overall message. Let me read the what's going on at the bottom, the messages on the bottom of these cards, so you're fully aware. With magic, it says you have the power now. Use your magic to attract what you want into your life. The sky is the limit. And with it being in reverse, remember I said you at one point remember a time when things were like this. It was just magic. It flowed naturally, easily, like water. Um, Real passion is saying stop wasting time in dead end jobs and find your true passion. It's fine to experiment, but don't settle for less than you truly deserve. So some of you may be on the fence and feeling like, that spark not being there in a job is not enough. Like you remember a time when the paycheck was enough, and that's not enough anymore. Like the reason why you do it may not be there for you anymore, and you may be wanting to go a different way as it relates to your financial um, path, Taurus, and your career trajectory. And you may be really looking at giving that some thought in the first 10 days of October. But for independence, it says it's time to go out on your own, right? And create your own business or try something well outside your comfort zone. So if you are looking for a sign on whether or not that new passion project should become your new entrepreneurial venture, this is it, Taurus. You just got it. In the first 10 days of October, you should at least start laying the ground, doing some research, getting some information on what that landscape looks like for you as it relates to your career, because it could create many choices. You have options, even if you don't see them right now. Again, this is a 10-day forecast. This time frame might be for collecting information. going around people that are in the industry that you want to be more successful in. Get creative and look around. Pull a card for each option to see what's best, right? Looking. It's okay to look for better work. It's okay to step outside of your comfort zone. You know, that routine, regimented way of life. I know my Tauruses love that. You're a fixed sign, just as I am. So I understand that. But it's okay to, just look. Be discreet in your search now. You need to be aligned with your life purpose to be fully satisfied. Remember, and that's not surprising that this is here. When I picked up on real passion and how it was fading, and you don't fully feel satisfied here, it's okay to look. Start looking in the first 10 days of October, and something beautiful may unfold. Access to greater prosperity is opening up for you slowly. You are growing as you learn more and keep expanding. So, again, keep growing so you can keep going so you can keep growing. Keep growing so you can keep going. I feel like that phrase is actually interchangeable now that I think about it, because, life works in a cyclical way, a circle, you know? So, let's see what we should and need to clarify for my Taurus. Let's get up into the Hermit in reverse, as well as this Knight of Coins in reverse. I'm going to use the Character Oracle deck to clarify these two. For my Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for the first 10 days of October, as it relates to your finances, Taurus. This Hermit in reverse. What's going on? What's this about? And if you haven't done so already, please hit that like button, share, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. All right, Taurus. Let's see what's up. Let's dig a little deeper into this Hermit in reverse. What's up with this Hermit in reverse? All right, so for the Hermit in reverse, you got Mother as well as Fireman. Now remember, the Hermit in reverse, I mentioned it's you coming out of isolation, collecting information, feeling like you need a do-over or need to revisit something because you need to learn a lesson, and it may tie back to your childhood and have some type of tie to your mother in your relationship with your mother. Again, with Firemen also being here, it could be that it sets off fire alarms inside of you, scares you a little bit, to have to step outside of this comfort zone, Taurus, that you're accustomed to being in. But fortune favors the bold, right? So with Mother, it says selfless love, nurturer, source of life, maternal patience, and comforter. So these are the things that you should give to yourself when learning these lessons, Taurus. Selfless love, nurturing, source of life. Like, understand where you are coming from, or I'm sorry, where you come from, the ties to your origin. Get in touch with that maternal patience, having patience with yourself and comforting yourself through learning these lessons and coming out of isolation, interacting with people, getting more information around what may has been a bother to you in your past, because it will require bravery, because it says bravest, heroism, sacrifice, rescue, extinguish, right? So in order to um extinguish, rescue, put out a fire that might have been set off a long time ago, can't even talk, um with you, Taurus, you gonna have to go back to your roots, is essentially what I'm trying to say. Forgive me. Yeah, this was a real like rabbit hole to kind of go down for me. Forgive me on that one. But anyway, let's clarify this Knight of Pentacles in reverse for my Taurus, and we will close out your message for the first 10 days of October. So what's up with this Knight? Did I mix cards? Just making, I sure did. I sure did. I'm glad somebody was paying attention. All right, let's see what's up with this Knight of Pentacles in reverse for my Taurus collective. All right, so for the Knight of Pentacles, you received aesthetic as well as detective. Now, when I first looked at both of these, I was like, again, having to learn something, pay attention, and take a closer look, right? You know how you think you know something, somebody is talking to you, and you're kind of halfway paying attention. You got the message, you go to execute the instructions that you were given, and you were kind of listening, and you thought you knew what you needed to do. But when you get to the task at hand, you realize something is missing. You're like, I missed something somewhere and I got to go back. Right. So that is the overall theme as it relates to the first 10 days, Taurus, for you as it relates to your money. Right. With this Knight of Coins being in reverse, having to spin that block, go back, take a closer look, and what aesthetic being here, the details, the je ne sais quoi, of something is just as important as the something, right? So we have seeker of self-restraint, abstinence, purification, discipline, right? Abstaining from moving so fast. Slow down, take a closer look, be intentful in how you move as it relates to your money. Detective, investigator of truth, sleuth, clues, pursuer, truth unveiled. Again, we have to be honest with ourselves about who we are in order to get better in our lives, in order to propel forward with more proficiency, momentum, and all of that great stuff. Honesty is key, right? So being honest, taking a very close look at your money, and being in tune with who you are and how you spend your money, right? You might be doing too much takeout and you're trying to justify it by, oh, well, I had to do this for this one and be here for that one, and my life is not set up. No more excuses. Take a very close look at everywhere you spend your money, Taurus, and be honest with yourself about the delegation of your finances and how it's going, and as it relates to where you want to go. And from there, you will be able to really be get a hold of your finances, move forward, and grow a financial situation that is very um, cozy and cute for my Tauruses, right? Like I said, you guys love to create choices, and the best way to do that is the money, right? So take a close look at where you're spending your money, who you're spending your money with, and things like that in the first 10 days of October. And that should help you on where you're going for the remainder of this year with your money, Taurus. I hope that helps. That is your message. Until next time, peace.